We launched Xbox 18 years ago with a game reviewers called the definitive reason to own an Xbox. Next holiday, we will launch Project Scarlet with
realistic video games. Who cares? I know what real life looks like. I've seen Polar Express. We need to see what we can't do in real life. In order to bridge the gap between games and cartoons, let this video be a preview to strange, stylized games coming out. I won't cover the big ones like Borderlands or Link's Awakening. Instead, I'll give attention to those games not too many are discussing. Games I hope you all spread the word on and share this video with, since I spent 4 days on this editing. It's Juice and Jam time! But first, this video is sponsored by Dollar Shave Club. Trying to maintain this smooth ping-pong head of mine is difficult, but Dollar Shave Club has me covered. They do more than just shaving with products for shower, oral care, deodorant, and butt wipes. Okay, sure. Right now you can get their shave, shower, or oral starter set each for only $5. The oral care set is perfect for my travels as it comes with a toothpaste cover and a mini toothpaste container. These sets are a good way to save, and all products are shipped to your home. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/RebelTaxi to get your first starter set, each for only $5. Support me by supporting them. And now, back to the show.
Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body liner.
You've heard of Battle Royales? Well, this here is a Racer Royale. The Fall Guys is a 100-player online on-foot race through a gauntlet. It looks to be a wacky physics-based platformer like Gang Beasts meets my favorite Spike TV show, MXC, otherwise known as Takashi's Castle if you're outside America, or if you are in America and are just a weeb. Literally, some of these look exactly like obstacles on that show.
Kenny, that's not what I think it is it? How could you do that? That's despicable!
Oh, don't worry, it's not that. It's powdered milk. Come on, they're junkies. They don't know the difference.
After playing Mad Dash Racing on Xbox, I've been hungry for another on-foot racer. I just wonder, will this game be based on random physics and luck, or will there be legit skill to it? From what the developers are saying, there'll be a mix of the two going on with these types of challenges. It looks to be a whole lot of fun. It's good to see a battle royale without camping.
You're a mean man, Ken.
Yes, I am.
Now this is more my style, Blood, a game from Exit 73 Studios. Not a video game company, but an animation studio. Though the last time a bunch of animators who've never made a game before made a game, we got Cuphead. Blood is a top-down Zelda-type adventure, except replace dungeons and townspeople with schools and classmates. Becky Brewster is a field hockey player who must save her town from demonic creatures. This looks like something that would have aired in 2001 next to Oh Yeah Cartoons and Dexter's Lab. Everything about it looks so alive. If you're interested in the development, Exit 73's Twitch live streams their making of process. It's both fascinating and a reminder of how animating anything makes me want to die.
Cody with Future Man was able to get all of them onto one sprite sheet. Is this a 8,000 square? Jesus. That's a lot of Beckys, and we're just getting started.
Are you ready, kids?
One of the biggest video games based on a cartoon that everybody played during the PS2 era was SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. THQ Nordic is bringing back this surprisingly good 3D platformer. This ain't just a quick upscale, but a full-on remake like Crash Bandicoot got. They're also promising to include content that was originally cut from the game. What a great addition. As for audio, I'm sure they'll just reuse the same voice clips, no problem with that, but I hope they redo all of Mr. Krabs' lines. His voice actor, Clancy Brown, was not in the original game. Instead, we get whoever this is.
SpongeBob, this flapping robot crisis is making the Krusty Krab lose money like a sinking ship.
Who are you people?
Oh, it's me. Hey, it's me, Jim. What's up?
Crossniq Plus, a puzzle game where you must match a whole row and column into a cross. Stylistically, it's influenced by the likes of Wipeout, DDR, and Puyo Pop. I'll take any puzzle game on a portable device, though its Y2K design is an instant buy for me. But what do I mean by Y2K design? Well, if we associate the 80s with neon grids, the 90s with geometric patterns, I feel in a few years the early 2000s will be seen as the Y2K aesthetic. Techno fonts, Japanese text, transparent technology, thick outlines, chibi characters and logos. Kind of vague, but it's just what we thought the future may bring at the time. That's what Crossniq Plus is going for. Clearly inspired by Splatoon, Ninjala on Switch is an 8-player 3D brawler created by Gung Ho, who gave us Let It Die and nothing else I recognize. The gimmick of Ninjala is that they're ninjas who use bubblegum, whether it's to float in the air, walk on walls, or manifest weapons. The game was announced in 2018 with a trailer featuring baby metal music. Hey, it fits. They didn't have that many updates or hype until news of a delay announced their release got pushed from spring 2019 to spring 2020. I read some first impressions from those who demoed the game. There was a lot of praise for it, but also complaints about stilted combat and a bad lock-on system. So I'm glad to see Gung Ho will take the time to polish up the game and add more to it. Having an 8-player 3D brawler on Switch with this kind of style is so up my alley. A party fighter like this needs all the tweaks and balancing it can get.
Pathetic.
From the team behind Skullgirls comes Indivisible. It's a Metroidvania JRPG hybrid. You'll be exploring these beautiful worlds in 2D platforming, but during battles you'll get fast-paced take-turn segments inspired by Valkyrie Profile, an RPG that I'll pretend I already knew about. Okay, you know what? I can't lie. No, I've never played it. Besides, it's probably not as good of an RPG as Raid Shadow Legends. Thanks to Raid, each character from Indivisible is assigned a face button. To have them attack, you'll tap a button that correlates to a character. You'll do the same to block enemy attacks aimed at a specific party member. While the backgrounds are in 3D, the textures and certain assets will be painted. One feature I'm excited for is hybrid bosses. There'll be boss battles that will switch between take-turns combat to action platforming. Indivisible is a crowd-funded game that actually looks great, and did I forget to mention the two best animation studios in the world, Trigger and Titmouse, are animating the intro? Did I forget to mention that? Was I that fucking stupid to mention that? Am I that fucking inept? God damn it! Okay. Another 3D brawler? My favorite. While there hasn't been a sequel to Anarchy Reigns, maybe this will fill that void. Bleeding Edge, a 4 vs 4 team-based brawler from Ninja Theory. Look, they made other games, okay? I hear people argue Ninja Theory should stick to single-player story-based games, but hey, did you all forget their first game?
Everybody was
Yeah, Kung Fu Chaos on OG Xbox. A lot of that talent were still at Ninja Theory when they made Hellblade 14 years later. I'm really excited for Bleeding Edge. While I love Anarchy Reigns, one big issue is that all the characters roughly played the same, but Bleeding Edge confirms there'll be a class system. Heavies, assassins, support characters, etc. I initially didn't care for the Overwatch meets Borderlands designs, but it grew on me. Once Bleeding Edge goes public, I think I'll be playing as this snake that controls a skeleton robot. What started as a browser game became a 2D indie game and now has a 3D sequel, Lethal League Blaze, a mix between a fighting game and dodgeball. You cannot directly punch your opponent. Instead, you slam the ball around the field, praying to God, Madoka, and anyone else that's listening that it hits something. So it's like Monsters Inc. Scream Arena, except good. It's a highly competitive game with a bit of a tournament scene formed around it. And notice that Jet Set Radio's style, they appropriately got one of its composers, Hideki Naganuma, to make a song for them. Before you correct me, yes, this game is already out on PC and Mac, but it's coming to consoles, eventually. So it counts for this video.
Gods need help, they turn to you.
Oh, would you look at that? Ubisoft took time out of their busy schedule of ignoring Rayman and sucking the remaining life force from Tom Clancy's husk to announce something actually interesting. Some roller derby game looks okay, but also Gods and Monsters, a Zelda-type adventure based around Greek mythology. There's no mention of crafting, but much like Breath of the Wild, you'll be free to complete any task in any order, a feature I'm glad more open-world games are embracing. Ubisoft's team describes it as their most open-world game that they've worked on. To keep up with the mythological theme, you'll be followed around by a narrator posing as Homer, as in Homer's Odyssey Homer. I don't think I've seen too many games do that except for Bastion.
But just as he's getting a handle on it, the security takes him for a petty thief. Clang. Shield saves his hide.
It'd be pretty interesting to see if Homer will be the only voice in the game or not. I kinda hope so. I wanted to know more, but during its live announcement, they cut the stream off to show some Ubisoft tournament with Lil Yachty, a human being who surprisingly isn't just a Teen Titans Go character. Its announcement has been met with a lot of praise, but some have compared Gods and Monsters style to Fortnite. Maybe so, it's not as square looking, but trends come and go. I will gladly take that style over another brown and gray shooter like almost everything from the PS3 era. After 40 years of annoying underpaid GameStop employees, Battletoads is back, but we got a Wind Waker situation where everyone's pissed, and I think less people will get pissed over time. Unlike the new Commander Keen or Contra Rogue Corps, this seems to play like the source material. Battletoads is a new style while staying true to their flashy special moves. Tweets and articles by people who sampled the game at E3 say it plays as good as a 2D brawler should. It puts up a challenge, but it's not as hard as the NES game. I'm sure there'll be a difficulty slider. But read the comments and you'll see how people think these Ninja Turtle bootlegs look childish and unoriginal. People think these Ninja Turtle bootlegs look childish and unoriginal. Really? The Battletoads were about as hardcore as Booger Man. Other than blood in the arcade version, they were always these overinflated goofballs. The neon-lit NES version, the one most people reference and I assume play, didn't even have blood. This shit was no Splatterhouse. I am loving the more Robert Valley, Motor City look. In an industry trend full of soft, round cartoons, I want more angular edge like this. It's one thing to not like the style, that's okay, but it's another when your reason for hate is apparently these dynamic poses look cheap, or it's a Flash game and it looks like every cartoon today. Besides Rise of the TMNT, which makes sense. And Motor City from 2012, what cartoon looks like this? Then again, as a person who's been on the internet since the year 2000, people complaining about every cartoon looking the same isn't anything new. But I do agree on the villain's redesign, Dark Queen, assuming that is the Dark Queen and not her annoying little sister who lost her snowball in the freezer. Maybe seeing her animated will change my mind, but she's just boring compared to everyone's more bombastic look. I get they want to tone her down. The 2003 Teen Titans cartoon completely changed Starfire from the comics. People complained back then, yeah, today's bullshit, tomorrow's nostalgia. Then again, Raven's outfit ain't too far off from the Dark Queen. Even the modern Teen Titans Go didn't change that outfit, plus they've done this on multiple occasions. While her design does nothing for me, everything else looks to be a solid stylized brawler, though perhaps someday they'll get the Killer Instinct model and sound design to create an ultra-hardcore AAA Battletoads game.
These cameos are killing me.
Okay, lightning round. This video is getting way too big. I want to work on other videos. I'm sorry. Please share this because I've been editing for 4 days straight and I don't want to waste this time. Brawlhalla DLC. Now Adventure Time characters like Finn with Jake and Princess Bubblegum are now playable in this platform fighter. Please bring in Marceline. If not, that's cool. I appreciate what we got so far. No Straight Roads, an indie rock band that's fighting against an EDM empire. It's an action platformer where enemies move in sync to the music. I'm intrigued. Roman numeral 13's getting a full remake. It was a very stylish shooter in its day. Jenny Le Clue, a game that does everything you'd expect from a detective game. How many ways can I say something looks beautiful without repeating myself? Clive and Wrench, a time-traveling 3D platformer indie game. The goal was to give it a tight moveset similar to the N64 era. From the footage alone, its controls are looking pretty fluid. Ori and the Will o' the Wisps. Damn. Spiritfarer, a game of gathering materials, exploring, improving your boathouse, but also building emotional relationships with your party. This is gonna fill me up with the honey nut filios, I just know it. RPG time, The Legend of Wright. Not sure how you play it, but I see a very creative RPG with a ton of gameplay variety. Way to the Woods. It's one of them walking, sometimes puzzle, artsy games. I think I'll play it for the urban environments. I see it has the composer from Steven Universe in there too. Gears of War Pop. You know your franchise is ugly when the pop figure version is an upgrade. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, another DBZ game, but it's an open-world, real-time RPG. That sounds really cool. I would love to explore those city locations. Commander Keen's reboot. If you know his history, you'd expect a 3D platformer, but instead he's an iOS app where you know, after watching the presentation, I'm not sure what you do in this game. Great marketing, guys. Oh, and nice. They whitewashed a character that was already white. That's extra offensive. Or not. I'm not sure.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
Eat my dust eater!
What's that? Diablo's last big game was in 2012? Pfft, the last console-based Simpsons game was in 2008. Everything after was just a dinky little app. For some reason at E3 2019, the writers of The Simpsons would be broadcasting a panel discussing 30 years of their video games. That's very random for a TV show. Could they be announcing a new game? A Simpsons Hit and Run remake? Maybe an arcade one-up machine? Only one way to find out.
But first, let's take a look at this great Simpsons highlight reel of fake video games. And if you're watching at home, you're not going to see it. It's just going to say, we'll be back in a few minutes. Enjoy!
Wait, what? When are they coming back? They took an 8-minute break while they played old footage of Simpsons clips about video games. All that waiting just for these writers who partook in 30 years of video games and TV history united on stage to discuss mostly that mobile app. So, is there gonna be an announcement? No, they're just talking about that app and non-gaming related stories, or they spitball ideas that would make for a good video game. That's cool, but you know what would be even cooler? Announcing you're making a video game. At least they took time to answer fan questions off Twitter.
I'm getting yelled at by Twitter. Pan Pizza wrote in all caps, talk about games.
Okay.
Simpsons games.
Less
Is Pan Pizza here? Are you here, Pan Pizza? All right, good. Didn't want to have to throw down after this. And then Jonathan asks, what is your favorite part about Tapped Out? Thank you, Jonathan, for bringing it back to Simpsons games.
Well, after 40 minutes of circle jerking their app, they announced something, a Battle Royale mode for The Simpsons Tapped Out. How does a city builder app translate to Battle Royale? Is there any footage? No? Well, that's it, a waste of fucking time.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, no. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Games.
People, I will not tolerate this BS. The Simpsons and its games are currently owned by EA and Disney. If we can get a single-player focused Star Wars game after all the outrage EA got, don't you think it's possible to do the same for one of the biggest cartoons of all time? SpongeBob's game got a remake, why can't The Simpsons? I want you all to go out there, tell EA and Disney and Fox you want another game, an HD remaster, or anything beyond a cheap mobile app. It's been over 10 years since the last console game. This franchise deserves more.
We want Krusty! We want Krusty!
No, we want
The Golden Joystick Award. The most unsportsmanlike conduct on Game Boy. Bart versus the Juggernaut. Yes. The best superhero performance on NES. Bart Man meets Radioactive Man. Yes. The best performance on SNES. Oops.
Bart's Nightmare. I don't believe it.
Why, you little...
Look for a winning Simpsons video game for every system.
Don't forget Krusty's Funhouse.
Look at my touch, man. It's winning.
Oh.
Fusion Frenzy 2!